Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Badge Summit preview interview. I am super mega muy excited to be joined by Laimonas Ragauskas. Did I get it right, Laimonas?
Yep.
Thank you so much for joining us all the way from, you're in Lithuania right now?
Yeah, in Vilnius.
Awesome. Why don't you just kind of start out by sharing just kind of who you are and what you're up to. And I think people very quickly wrap their heads around why we need to be excited about you sharing your awesome work at Bad Summit.
Yeah. Hi. So I'm coming now from calling from Vilnius. I work actually in many countries. Even though I'm based here, I work as a trainer and facilitator in the field of international youth work and training. So it means I do work in different countries in Europe. I work with governmental organizations, institutions, non-profit organizations as a freelancer, but also at home I have relationship with several organizations. One of them, Lithuanian Association for Non-Formal Education, that strives for the quality of non-formal education. Nectarus is another organization that I'm part of that deals more with youth work, and recently we're looking at more at digital youth work and innovative solutions in youth work and non-formal education. And I'm also related to a company called Badgecraft, that is a platform for designing and managing open badges. And that started in 2014, so 6 years already.
Well, and that just makes you, pretty much around since about as long as anybody on planet Earth. And, the words that I hear you saying that I really latch onto are youth work, recognition, open badge credentialing. So, what's that looking like right now? And what kind of official stuff are you a part of with this informal recognition of youth work?
So through Association of Non-Formal Education and with international partners in Europe, we're always looking at ways how to make youth work and achievements in youth work more visible. It's happening outside of the formal settings, and then it started in like 2006, 2007. We started looking at what are innovative solutions that would be youthful, and in a way also technological, because a lot of things are moving online, and technology allows to have systems more open and more accessible, comparing to paper credentials and so on. And that's how we stumbled into open badges, and we started experimenting and trying out open badges in the field of youth work. So since 2013, we launched one international project with 6 partners. We started trying out open badges and designing badge-based recognition systems in different forms of youth work. Sometimes it's volunteering, sometimes it's international youth mobilities, like international youth exchanges or international training courses. So that's how it all started, really. And then we started implementing badges. Then others noticed they wanted to do something with open badges in youth work as well. So me and my colleagues, we started consulting other organizations. Other partners joined in for new projects. So it started just growing, and now we have open badges being used really in many countries all over Europe, and also beyond youth work, in adult education, in informal education, in universities, and so on, so in private businesses.
Yeah, and one of the things that I really love about the approach is certain things didn't come across as competing with one another. They were very much, you instead took the approach of viewing them as complementary. And just when I'm on the website, and I'm sure you'll be sharing stuff with us, but citiesoflearning.eu, I just look at just the principles of connected learning, all this stuff that like folks who are familiar with the work out of the MIT Media Lab, you guys are the embodiment of this stuff.
Yeah, actually, we were very much inspired by the work that was happening in US. We started meeting people at Mozilla Festival in London, where we're going since 2013, and we went to all Mozilla festivals where they had a separate space for open badges, because that was always a great space to meet people from Mozilla, from other related organizations. And we found out, more about connected learning, about different initiatives happening in US. And then when it started with Cities of Learning, so I think Chicago Summer of Learning, then Chicago becoming the City of Learning. So we were really following the developments over there, and we're trying to see what makes sense in our field. And we felt there are a lot of connections, because youth work happens outside the formal settings. We're meeting similar challenges that, young people learn a lot of valuable things, but they are not recognized very much in other sectors. So we had similar challenges, and we could learn also how technology can be used for recognition, for connecting young people and existing opportunities. And I think that's how really Cities of Learning kicked off. We looked at what LRNG was doing there, what separate cities were doing, and then initiatives started in UK. So we're looking closely what's going on out there. And then we said, okay, we want to move on, and not just to have like badge-based recognition systems, but we wanted to go on a city level infrastructure, and we wanted to show what city has to offer for young people, and open badges were just integral part of that.
I mean, I'm just getting serious FOMO. I feel like being at MozFest 2014, the Open Badges Playground would be like, I don't even know, being at a Lou Reed concert in Greenwich Village in 1968 or something. Just so many of the people who now are just the thought leaders and awesome humans leading some of the just most amazing work in this space. Maybe I think it'd be really helpful now if you wouldn't mind sharing your screen, Laimonas, and kind of showing off some of what you all are working on, and just what's gone from aspirational to actually, in production, and people can actually do it.
Sure. Is that visible?
It absolutely is, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So actually, we can start here from our website, citiesoflearning.eu, and then people who are really into connected learning and Cities of Learning, you will recognize what we communicate. We talk about creating city-level infrastructure of learning. We talk about recognition. The key areas that the key elements we chose to have is to have interactive map. Is to allow organizers to create learning playlists, and then to allow learners actually to create, to have their own portfolios, to earn badges and have it in one place. So I will just go as an example to Vilnius City of Learning. Here you can see like almost 400 opportunities. We started with the functioning platform from the last summer, so it's like a bit more than half a year. And by now we have 14 cities already on board. And then, people can just, on every city platform, they can see what are the opportunities. Once they get inside of it, they can see what badges they can get, what is on the offer, and so on. So it's really trying out to map things visually in one place. And here I can go probably through some statistics at this moment, what we have. So these are the statistics from the December. And then it covered by that time less than 10 cities. Actually, in Europe, we realized that we cannot limit just to cities. We also looked at regions, because some partners were saying we don't work on a city level, we work on a regional level. And sometimes organizations even have a focus to involve young people beyond the city, because that's where young people meet some struggles and challenges, access to opportunities, public transportation challenges, and so on. So that's why we had a project where we were involving not only cities, but also regions.
Yeah, I think that that's something that's really important for folks who are looking at the map and getting really excited, that yes, you have figured out, learning happens beyond four walls, beyond the hours of the school day. Learning achievement is happening, and you're creating access like on a physical map. Where can people go to access these opportunities? But it's also, I think, important to mention that you have partners who are offering virtual opportunities. So yes, it's a pin on the map, but it's also, there's content that's available from home.
Yeah, and I think in relation to this, we really wanted to, I'm just trying to get to the map perhaps, um, we wanted to promote the fact that so many resources are online and that organizations can really start combining both residential in-person activities and online. And indeed, some of the activities, if you start zooming in, they are like location-based, but some of them would be online because that's the idea. Learning can happen in different spaces, and it can easily happen online. And I think especially in the recent 2-3 months, many organizations realized they have a lot of resources. People cannot come to them, but they can still promote learning, and learning can continue even in the times where people cannot meet physically.
I mean, that is
So
just so spot on. And I know we're running out of time. That's probably the perfect place to end, but I'm going to go ahead and go for imperfect here, Laimonas. And just one quick question, a thing that I always encounter in my consulting is concerns about quality control. And I'm kind of wondering, just as an organization, where have you all decided that, you're going to have different partners bringing different kind of backgrounds, experiences, types of opportunities? How do you sort of philosophically fall, on the spectrum of, what, all opportunities, regardless of quality, to only the most highly vetted and, polished opportunities? And I imagine it's a spectrum. Where organizationally have you all decided to go right now, and do you see that changing in the future?
yeah, when at the moment when we started, we just had very few activities. So, we didn't put too many barriers on what kind of activity should be there. We just had agreement that we promote activities that are around learning, yeah, and that are accessible and open for young people. And most of these activities are for free as well, and activities that somehow relate to the interests of young people. And so it's pretty much open, really. We didn't put any filters. Of course, it's still about offering kind of activities that respect kind of common sense. Yeah, so they're not offending anyone. They're still educational. And at the moment, actually, it was going on pretty well. I mean, we wouldn't see activity that is somehow like empty or offensive or has kind of shady quality. But I think when more activities will be added and when cities will grow, we will need to see also how we handle the fact that maybe some activities are maybe less quality, or we don't know exactly what's behind. But then, for example, we approach the problem of recognition. So at the moment, every activity that is uploaded to the platform, uh, it gets a badge automatically. People still need to edit the data, but badge is generated. So I think one thing we try to solve, that there wouldn't be any activity that is not offering an open badge for the learning happening there.
Love it. Love it. I mean, there's just so many different ways to approach that. And I think philosophically, I definitely have a bias that really closely aligns with the approach you all have been using, especially in these early days. Laimonas, thank you so much for taking the time to share with us. Thank you in advance for being a part of Badge Summit on June 25, 26. Folks who are not yet registered, it is thebadgesummit.com. Head over there, get registered. It's going to be an amazing conference with lots of geniuses like Laimonas and his colleagues. And Laimonas, how do folks connect with you, follow you, read about your work? What are the best ways to get in touch?
Well, it's you can go to the Facebook page. We have citiesoflearning.eu page profile, and people can connect and ask questions about cities of learning. Um, you can find me also on other social media on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram with my name and surname.
Awesome. Well, Laimonas, thank you so much for your time today.